Winning Blueprint presents. It's the Redskins Report. So it's everything Redskins and anything of the sort. That's right, there's nothing here to hide. Skins colors are so bold, man, I wear 'em with pride. So get this Skins Report. Recap of Sunday's game and anything of the sort. Whether it's losses or wins, it's all skins. Come get it. I'm holding down the fort. You know why? 'Cause it's the Redskins Report. Man, can't nobody tell me that, man. I've been watching Redskins football since I was 3. Where were you at on January 12th, 1991? I know where I was at. I was in my room crying because the Redskins just lost to the San Francisco 49ers in the divisional round of the playoffs. That's real. I'm serious. That's real. Man, just tune into the show, man. Just tune in. The Redskins Report.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Not hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's how you get it done. Right there. I don't know if I've been this excited about a win in a long time. I mean, look. That Cowboys win on Thanksgiving, that felt really good. So I can't say I haven't been this excited about a win in a long time. But again, as the wins pile up, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the games moving forward get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I told you, the bigger these games get, as the weeks go by, that means we're doing something right. We're doing our job. We're winning football games. What a big win that was on Sunday. That felt damn good. Because in past years, last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we find a way to lose that game. That game doesn't even get to overtime. Whether we turn the football over with the interception, we fumble the ball, maybe Santana Moss gets stripped, something goes awry right there. But we don't get to overtime. Okay, fine. We get the touchdown. We don't get the 2-point conversion though. Something goes wrong in the last 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons. We don't go to overtime. We don't find a way to get the stop in overtime, get the return by the special teams. We'll talk about the special teams a little bit later. But we don't find a way to get a touchdown to close out the fourth quarter. We don't find a way to get that field goal in overtime. We don't find a way to win games. Good teams find ways to win games. And guess what? We're a good team now. Believe it. We are a good team now. And I told you, we are a scary team on offense. No one wants to face this Redskins offense. They don't. We pose too much of a threat to your defense when we step on the field offensively. We have weapons, and we haven't even blown the dust off of Aldrick Robinson in about 2 or 3 weeks. We still have weapons that aren't even being utilized. I mean, we're a dangerous team. And it was on display on Sunday. We had our ups, we had our downs in this game. A lot of things to talk about, but all in all, we got the win, and that's the most important thing. Damn, it feels good to be a Redskins fan today, doesn't it? Let's talk about this game, though. A lot to get to. Okay, I'm not going to waste a lot of time with a long monologue. Let's just get to the action on the field. There's a lot to get to. I jotted a lot of notes in this game, so you guys got to bear with me. There was a lot to talk about. A lot of dynamics, a lot of things, a lot of moving parts going on in this game. A lot of little subplots. Let's get to the game. First things first, you know how I feel about us getting the football first. I don't like it, but we got the ball first. Make the best of it. Can't cry over spilled milk. They won the toss. They deferred. They did the smart thing. We got the football first. Let's go get points. They want to give it to us. Let's take it and score. So we get the ball first. And right out the gate, we come. And this is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do last week against the Giants, and we failed to do it. And this is what I wanted to do in this game. Come out and do what it is you're great at. And we're a great running team. Let's not be cute. Let's not come out and throw it 3 times like we did against the Giants and put ourselves in a hole. Run the football. That's what we are. We're a running team. And the Ravens don't stop the run well. So let's run the football. First possession, we come out and they get a heavy dose of Alfred Morris. I love it. Love it. And he does what it is he's been doing all season long. The reason why he's over 1,200 yards rushing this season. He ran the football. And the offensive line did what they have been doing all season long, opening up gaping holes for him. Guys stand on their blocks. I told you that I was going to start charting mistakes. We're going to have the mistake meter, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But we had a mistake on this possession. Pierre Garçon flagged for holding on a big gain, brought it back. We were able to overcome that, though. Luckily, his penalty was down the field, and so it didn't result in a 1st and 20. It resulted in a 1st and 7. We ended up picking it up. We kept the drive going. Got all the way down into the red zone. Very clean and fluid drive. You could tell those first 15 were scripted. It looked great. Everything was executed beautifully on that possession. We're moving the football. We get in the red zone. And we kind of bogged down a little bit. I was a little nervous that we were going to end up having to kick a field goal. I don't need field goals being kicked in this game. I told you this was going to be a high-scoring game. I told you that in the preview. The Ravens are going to score points on this defense. We're not going to limit the Ravens to 16 points like we did the Giants. This was going to be a game we were going to have to score points. You knew that coming in. So it's imperative that if we get in the red zone, touchdowns are being scored, not field goals. So we get to third down. We dodged a bullet on second down because the ball is tipped off of Leonard Hankerson's hands. It's a bad throw by Robert Griffin III behind Leonard Hankerson. Leonard reaches back, tries to snag it, couldn't get it, tips off his hands. It's about 4 Raven defenders right behind Leonard on his play. Miraculously, it tips off his hands and finds the one area that has green pastures. I don't know how it got to the ground, but it did. And that was a big break for us. We turn it over right there, this is a different ballgame. Instead, it hits the ground, we get another shot, and on third down, the offensive line does a great job of protecting Robert Griffin III. He does a great job of extending the play, finds Josh Morgan in the end zone. Just like that, it's 7-0. And that's what I'm talking about. They're going to give us the ball first, make them pay. Take it down, get 7. So that felt good because this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to score points in this game. So it was good to go ahead, take it down the field, get 7, kind of set the tone in this game. So we kick it off, and I said in the preview, got to try to limit Ray Rice. We're not going to stop him. He's a great back. You're not going to totally stop Ray Rice. If you can, slow him down enough to the point where the Ravens feel they don't need Ray Rice, like they did a week ago against the Steelers. You slow him down enough, and they'll just forget about him. That's what I was hoping we could do. No such luck. They came out, and the first play from scrimmage for the Ravens let me know what kind of day it was going to be for this run defense. You know how our defense is. If we come out early on and we establish that there will be no running, there will be no running. Simple as that, end of discussion. When you come out and you pound us early, that lets us know we're in for a long day. Strap it up. Buckle in your seatbelts. We're going to be in for a long, bumpy ride stopping the run. And you saw that right away, right off the bat. He bust off about a 46-yard run. And just like that, you knew they were in danger of scoring points. They were already probably in, I'd say, Redskins territory, probably at the 30-something yard line. Just like that. I mean, it didn't take long. He bust off that run. He got another good run, and then just like that, they were inside the 20. First pass for Joe Flacco, boom. He hits Anquan Bolden up the sideline. Beautiful route. Gets past D'Angelo Hall. And as always, Madu Williams, late to the party. You show up late, nothing ever happens great. That's what he did. He showed up late to the party. Anquan Bolden got behind D'Angelo Hall, who was expecting help. He was right for expecting help. Wasn't there. Touchdown. Joe Flacco makes a great throw. That's what Joe Flacco does. They get opportunities. He's not going to miss them often. I told you that in the preview. And Joe Flacco is a good quarterback. Hit the pass to Bolden. Touchdown at 7-7. I said, okay, this is what I expected. It's going to be a shootout. And we're going to have to score points. We weren't going to shut the Ravens out. So I wasn't upset about that. I said, okay, they scored. We get the football back. Let's go back down and get more points. That's all. We just have to keep scoring because they're going to score points. We're going to get our fair share of stops. So are the Ravens. But we got to make sure that this isn't going to be a game where it's going to be that easy for the Ravens because that first drive was too easy. I mean, that was as easy as it gets. Flacco really didn't have to put in the air. The one time he did, touchdown to Bolden. So they ran the football all the way down the field. got the touchdown. It was very, very easy. I mean, they couldn't have hit the Staples button, that easy button, and scored any easier than that. And so that was the only thing I didn't like. Don't make it that easy on them. Make them work for what they get. That's the mantra. That's the motto. Make them drive the football down the field. If they score on a 12-play drive, so be it. But don't let it be a 5-play drive where they just gash us and cap it off with a nice long touchdown pass, which is exactly what happened on this possession. Okay, so we get the football back and go get more points. You know, this is going to be a game where we're going to have to score points. So, hey, go get more points. Still the first quarter. You know, our drive was 10 plays, 80 yards. So, you know, it wasn't that long of a drive. Again, when we score, we usually are very efficient in what we do. So the Ravens got the ball and they scored even faster than we did. So we got the football back. This wasn't like the Giants game where they were playing keep away. The Giants played keep away from our offense. Ravens were having none of that. They were trying to score as quick. And you know the Ravens also run that hurry-up, quick-tempo offense too. So you knew there were going to be a lot of possessions in this game for both teams. So we get the football back. And you know I'm hard on Niles Paul. Sometimes probably a little bit too much. You know, I'm really hard on Niles Paul because I expect a lot out of him. He's an athletic tight end that we converted from wide receiver. I thought he'd be a mismatch nightmare for a lot of teams. And so I'm hard on Niles Paul because it seems like when he gets in the game, sometimes he's thinking too much. And again, it's a position change for him. He's never played tight end before, so there's a lot going through his mind when he's out there on the football field. I get it. But when you're on the field, you still have to make plays. You're still responsible for your duties. And if you're open, I expect you to catch the football. I expect you to make a play. That's why I was so happy when he made that play against the Cowboys. I was so happy because I said, maybe he's starting to get it. And then you see plays like on Sunday against the Ravens and it just drives you nuts. Wide open, play action fake, maybe 17, 20 yards down the field. He slips and falls and drops the football. Those kind of things drive me crazy because you don't know if you're going to be able to pick up a first down after you have a guy running wide open and they don't make a play. You just don't know if that's going to cost you moving the sticks. You don't know if you're going to have to punt after that. Frustrating. But he didn't make the play. I got mad and then I just moved on. Because I've come to expect Niles Paul to not make plays. And it's bad and it sucks that I feel that way, but that's just how it is. When I see Niles Paul getting the football thrown his way, I'm just saying, please don't bobble the ball and tip it up and get it picked off. Because something always seems to happen when Niles Paul gets in the game. Whether it's a drop pass or he's holding, I just always feel like something's about to go awry. So, you drop the football. Now I'm thinking, we just got to get the first down. That was an opportunity to get it. He blew it. Now we have to find a way to get the first down. So we go play action fake again. Santana Moss wide open. Great throw by Robert, sliding in the pocket. It was an excellent throw. And it was also great pass protection. There was great pass protection on that play because the Ravens brought pressure and Logan Paulson came over and helped, kind of create that pocket for Robert because it was caving in on the left side of the offense. Logan came over, kind of made sure that thing held pat over there. It was a beautiful pocket. Boom, hit Santana Moss, and just like that, we're in business again. A couple more play action fakes, sprinkle in a few Alfred Morris runs, play action fakes to Hank and to Joshua Morgan, and just like that, we're down to the 1 yard line. Alfred Morris, 1 yard touchdown run, and just like that, it's 14-7. I'm loving it. McDonald's time. I am loving it because we got to score points in this game to win. We know that's the case. 8-play, 83-yard drive. We're back in the end zone, 14-7. We're looking very fluid on offense. I love the flow. I love the efficiency of the offense today. We had one drop. We had a holding penalty. But right now, we're being efficient on the offensive end. I like it. I like it a lot. So now we got to kick it to the Ravens. Now we need to get a defensive stop because it's okay to score, but we don't need to be trading scores back and forth with the Ravens. This isn't what we want. We don't want to turn this into a track meet. It's not what we want to do because We can score points. We can score points with the best of them. But we're also a very penalized team. We're a team that we can shoot ourselves in the foot. We don't turn it over, and that's one thing that usually saves us. We're not a team that turns it over, at a high rate. But we do have a lot of penalties. We lead the league in penalties. And so you're going to shoot yourself in the foot when you have penalties. You don't want to get into a track meet. You don't want to get into a shootout when you like to have penalties. So I didn't really want to get into that type of game. Let's play some defense. So the Ravens get the football, and we find a way to get a stop. The Ravens early in this game were self-destructing with penalties. I was glad to see that. Let them be the team, and I said that in the preview. Let them be the team that self-destructs with penalties. Not us, them. Someone gets a false start, let it be them. Holding penalty, let it be them, and that's exactly what happened on this possession. They got a holding penalty, they got a false start, they got in 3rd and long, we were able to get off the field. Great. And I was glad to see them sit down Brandon Banks. I told you, I was very, very lukewarm on Brandon Banks at best, right around week 12. Because I see what he is now. And it's okay. It's okay. But I said I thought we could do a lot better, especially in the punt return game. Maybe kickoffs just isn't our thing. Because it seems like our wedge, it just takes a long time for us to get out. It's like the guys don't have a sense of, a clock in their head of, hey, let's go block. They wait too late to go get someone. By the time they go block and engage, guys are already at the 7, the 10, the 12-yard line. It's too late now. You need to be engaging people around, the 15 to 20-yard line to give your returners some space to find the creases. It's like they wait too late to run and go block. Go get somebody. But on punts, I just feel like you got to get up the field. You got to get north and south on punts. And Brandon Banks is a dancer. He wants to go east and west. He wants to go to the sideline. He doesn't want to get hit. I get it. You're 160 pounds. You're 5'6". You don't want to get smashed. I get it. Get somebody in there that's going to be fearless, that's going to take it up the field, going to get whatever's there. And that's why I love Richard Crawford. We saw this in the preseason. He gave us flashes in the preseason. I said, I wouldn't mind putting Richard Crawford back there. Wouldn't mind. He got his opportunity today. First return of the game. Took it about 20 yards. Beautiful return. That was a tease of things to come. And it looked damn good. We haven't seen that crisp, that efficient of a return all season long. So that let me know right there, this kid's got confidence. He's not afraid. And remember the quote I told you that he gave us. He said, look, if I get in the game, whatever capacity it is, I want to make something happen. We won't miss the playoffs because of my play. I tell you that right now. That's how confident he was, and that's what I like to hear. So he comes out, he gets the return, and so I'm saying, hey, that's a great return. He caught it at about the 7. He returned it to about the 27-yard line, 25 somewhere in there. Good. Got us out of our own end zone. Now let's go put a drive together. Let's get some more points. So we get the football, and we really don't have a good drive. This was the first lame duck drive of the game. And a big part of it was, and I thought this was an issue in the game, and I hate when Robert does this, because he's such a playmaker. He wants to make a play every time he touches the football. Fine by me. I get it. You're a playmaker. The ball is in your hands. You make great decisions with it. So you're not going to hear me complain about anything you do, but please don't hold on to the ball too long, especially when you're in the pocket. If you don't like what you see down the field and you don't want to force a throw, you don't want to make a mistake, that's great. That's why you don't have many turnovers on the season, because you don't force the issue. I love it. But don't stay in a pocket waiting for something to come open when it's only a 2-man route. If it's not there, you need to tuck it down and run. Get out of the pocket. Don't stay around and wait for the rush to get to you. That's when bad things happen. And I thought he did that several times in this game. And the games where we have 3-4 sacks given up, it's usually because Robert is hanging around the pocket way too long. Way too long. Got to get out of there. Make something happen. If you got to throw it away, throw it away. Live the fight another day. But don't hang around the pocket. You get yourself hit, and you give up unnecessary yardage when you do that. He took a shot. He got sacked. Lost to 8. Really killed that possession. We ended up punting the football. So we go back on defense. It's okay. We're still up 14-7. We're starting to settle in on defense. The Ravens, again, they're hurting themselves with penalties. They get in a 3rd and 17 situation after we punt them the football. And so we really got them right where we want them, 3rd and long. We're not a great 3rd down defense by no stretch of the imagination. However, 3rd and 17, I feel pretty comfortable about that because, again, if teams were smart against us, they would try us down the field on 3rd and 17, 3rd and 15. Give it a shot. If you get good protection, you probably can get someone open on our defense. Instead, most teams in the National Football League, it's conventional wisdom and conventional thinking that on 3rd and long, 3rd and 17, it's a give up down. Try a screen, dump it off, try a draw. Let's just get out of here and punt. We don't want anything stupid to happen. They're dropping back 8. They're only rushing 3. They're giving us the underneath stuff. Take it. Let's just punt the football. That's what teams usually do on 3rd and forever, which they were in 3rd and 17. OMG jumps off sides. And this is when the penalties started to happen for the Redskins. This is when things started to unravel a bit in the game for us. Right after that penalty, I think things started to turn for the worse. And I didn't like the way things were going from this point to somewhere in the middle of the 3rd quarter. We really were stagnant. OMG jumps off sides. It's 3rd and 17. It turns into 3rd and 12. Now, you look at it and you say, hey, it's still 3rd and 12. We still should be able to get off the field. No. That's not the attitude to have if you were thinking that. 3rd and 17 is a lot tougher to pick up than 3rd and 12. As you will see on this play, they dump it off to Ray Rice after that 5-yard penalty. Probably about a 7-yard reception. He catches it. He runs for another 6 yards, picks up the 1st down. If it's 3rd and 17, they throw that same exact pass. They get those same exact results. They're 4 yards short of the 1st down because it was a 13-yard pickup on the play. Those are the difference between you winning games and losing games. Small little penalties like that. Hitting yardage like that. You can't make mistakes like that. Stop making errors that aids the other team. So they get a 1st down. They extend a drive that probably was going to be over. They get in 3rd and 1. We jump offsides again. This time, Jarvis Jenkins is too anxious. He goes offsides, encroachment, 1st down. They end up getting a touchdown. On this possession, they get in the end zone. 14-14. And that drive was aided by Redskins penalties. And again, you start creating opportunities for the opposition to score, and they're going to take advantage of it, especially when it's a good team like this Baltimore Ravens bunch. You can't give them opportunities to make things happen. And that's what we did. We helped them on that drive. We aided that drive. We afforded them the opportunity to score that touchdown to tie it at 14 apiece. So get the football back, and again, it's okay. We weren't going to pitch a shutout against this team. We knew they were going to score points. We knew we were going to have to score points. I told you we needed to be able to stop these guys in the red zone, though. We can't allow them to be ultra efficient in the red zone. And so far, they were 1 for 1. And they were right outside of the red zone on that 1st touchdown. But I look at that as another win for the Ravens. So we were 0 of 2, really. Only 1 of 1 were the Ravens. But to me, they were 2 of 2 because they got in the end zone twice. So we get the football back. Okay. Let's put something together. Even if it's a field goal, let's put something together. Alfred Morris fumbles the football. Ravens recover. And look, he's a rookie. Things happen. Not even mad at Alfred Morris. We don't turn the football over that often. I don't want this to become a trend. This is the 2nd week in a row he's fumbled. But again, this was a sloppy, wet day. Got to have ball security. And this is something that he'll work on moving forward. He'll be more cognizant because he runs so hard. You have to remember that. He's a guy that runs so hard. Guys get their hands on the football sometimes. Things happen. They recovered the fumble. They're in business now. They're deep in Redskin territory. We got to find a way to buckle down and get a stop. Force them to kick a field goal. This is what I'm talking about. They can't get in the red zone 4 or 5 times and come away with 4 or 5 touchdowns. We're not going to win the game. Got to find a way to stand up tall in the red zone. So they're already basically in the red zone. They're already in the money zone. Run a couple of plays, and I'm thinking we're going to get a stop. Ryan Kerrigan, we got a little bit of pressure. got them into 3rd and long. And I'm thinking, this is what I'm talking about. This is the stop we need. 3rd and long. Let's try to get a little bit of pressure on Flacco. Don't allow him to have time to survey the field and find the open man and get a touchdown. What happened on 3rd and long? He was able to buy himself time, great protection, find the open man. This time it was Dennis Pitta in the end zone. The first 2 times it was Anquan Bolden. This time, Dennis Pitta in the end zone. Beats Perry Riley. Perry Riley had great coverage on the play. I'm not faulting Perry Riley for this one. Won't put it on him because you can't ask a linebacker to cover for about 4 seconds, which is what Joe Flacco had, maybe 5 on this play to find someone open. Dennis Pitta, he made a great throw. Pitta made a great catch. Touchdown, 21-14. Ravens take the lead. And now this is the first time we've trailed in this game. First time we've really faced adversity in this game. How will we respond? Interesting to see how we respond from being down in a game that we've led or at least been tied in all game long. You know, a little bit of adversity. We started to get penalties. We just turned the football over. We just relinquished the lead. Now we're trailing in this game. How do we respond? Just like that, a quick turnaround. You're up 14-7. Ravens get a touchdown after you aid their drive with 2 penalties. Quick turnaround. You fumble. They get in the end zone. Now you're down. 14-point swing just like that. Now you're down 21-14. How do you respond? The good teams weather the storm. You're going to have adversity in every game you play. Gotta find a way to weather the storm, right the ship, and settle down. What were we going to do? I love the resiliency of this team. It's one of the things this team has done to endear me to them. I love the resiliency of this football team. We never get too high. We never get too low, and I think that's a product of our quarterback. In the past, we were a team that either we were playing really well or we were playing really bad. There was no really middle ground. We stay even keel for the most part as a team. Even when the defense is struggling, we always feel like we have a chance because the offense usually gets it done. We got to play like a team. It's a team effort now because no matter how good the defense is doing or how good the offense is doing, if the other side of the ball isn't playing good football or at least adequate enough football to help us win, we're going to lose games. Doesn't matter how good the offense was playing in the first half. I mean, that first quarter, they said we had the most yards in the NFL in the first quarter all season long of any team. We had 186 yards of offense in the first quarter. No team in the NFL has had more to this point in the season in the first quarter. That's how efficient we were in the first quarter. Yet, probably after 5 minutes of the second quarter, we had nothing to show for it because it was 14-14. So it don't matter how good the offense is playing. If the defense isn't doing their job, it doesn't matter. So it has to be both sides of the ball working in unison to create and to get one goal, which is to win football games. So I wanted to see how we responded. We're an even keel team. I love that about this team. We're very resilient. Okay, we're down by a touchdown now. Had some issues with penalties, turnover, gave up a touchdown. Now how are we going to respond? Play action fake to Darrell Young over the middle of the field. Boom, we're in business. Just like that. And I love play action fake because our running game, it's one thing for you to run the football and be effective in doing so, being the best at it, which we are. It's one thing to be that way, but it's another thing to actually use the fact that you're a great running team to your advantage. And I swear we use it to our advantage so well. That's one thing I love about this coaching staff is that, yeah, we run the ball well. And not only do we run the football well, we're going to make you pay for the fact that we run the football well by using play action fake. And you got to respect it. You don't have a choice. You got to respect it. You don't respect the play action fake and you're allowing us to run. You're going to just keep a 7-man front and not respect the run. You're going to get gashed. You got to respect the run. You have to. You don't have a choice. And I love it. Force their hand. Play action fake comes your way. Now you're in trouble. You got to suck up. You got to bite it. You got to bite it. So Darrell Young catches the play action fake and boom, we're in business. Nice little about 20, 25-yard game. We were getting chunk plays in this game in the first half. Beautiful execution. Chunk plays. So just like that, we're in business. And then again, like I told you, right after that OMG penalty, we started getting penalties. We started to shoot ourselves in the foot. Logan Paulson, holding. The Gates a good play. And we go from, second and manageable to first and 20. We're able to get ourselves out of this hole. and get to 3rd and 1. But again, you don't want to put yourself in those compromising positions with penalties. So we get in 3rd and 1, and this drive kind of bogged down after that holding penalty. But again, we still had an opportunity with 3rd and 1. What's wrong with Darrell Young just getting the football on a simple fullback handoff or fullback dive? It works. When's Darrell Young not gotten a first down on the fullback handoff on 3rd and 1? Why do we have to be cute all the time on 3rd down and 1? The only thing I want to see us doing on 3rd and 1 is one of 3 things. 1, simple handoff to Alfred Morris. Not a stretch play, not a toss. Some north and south running with Alfred Morris. That's 1. 2, read option, Robert Griffin III, Alfred Morris. I just want a 2-man game. I don't want triple option. I don't want speed option. I just want a simple read option. Either Robert is sticking it in Alfred's belly and letting him run for a yard straight ahead, or he's pulling it out because the end crashes down on Alfred and he pulls it out and takes off for about 25, 50. That's all I want to see on 3rd and 1. Or simple fullback dive to Darrell Young. They all work. Nothing else. Here we go with this option with the toss out to Alfred Morris. It's a bad toss because Robert's getting pressure. He tries to toss it with 2 hands. Sloppy, wet football. You can make all the excuses you want. Fact of the matter is, ball hits the ground. Alfred has to pounce on it. 9-yard loss. Have to punt the football. Again, terrible execution on 3rd and 1. All we needed to do was be simple, be straightforward, and we wanted to get cute, and it cost us. Punt the football. So, disappointing end to the first half. Ravens, after that punt, Ravens decided, let's just go to halftime. So it's 21-14 at the half. Very disappointing first half because we played so well in the first quarter, then had mistakes in the second quarter. That second quarter was mistake riddled. It was filled with mishaps, penalties, turnover, and missed opportunities. So we're trailing at the half 21-14. Don't like the way this half ended, but again, very optimistic because defense got better somewhat as the half went along. Ray Rice was gashing us, but I said at some point we're going to slow them down in the run game. We're not going to grind them to a halt, but we want to slow them down somewhat. And I think Joe Flacco is going to give us an opportunity to make a play or two. And I said that on the preview for this game, that Flacco is going to give you some opportunities. He's a good quarterback, but he's not in that upper echelon because he's going to give you some opportunities to make some plays. So I knew our time would come. The question was, can this offense get on track and start scoring more points? Are we going to be able to make some plays on defense or the special teams game to give us an opportunity to win? Because we're going to have to score 30 points, close to 30 points. I said the game was going to be 29-24. Ravens already had 21 points. I didn't expect us to be able to repeat what we did against the Giants, which was basically shut them out in the second half. You know, Giants only got 3 points. I didn't expect to do that to the Ravens. So my goal was just find a way to slow them down to the point where we can score 29, 30, 31, 32 points and win this football game. So, the Ravens get the ball after half. It's imperative. It's crucial. It's a must that we don't allow them to come out first possession of the second half and get a touchdown. Huge. If they get a touchdown and they go up 2 scores, 2 whole touchdowns, they go up 14, that's a hole that we don't want any part of. Because I don't see us really digging ourselves up out of a 14-point hole against this Baltimore Ravens group. So the Ravens get the ball to start the second half. And I felt good because we got them in a situation where I felt like, okay, we're starting to slow down the rushing attack. They tried to go to Ray Rice early. He picked up right where he left off in the first half. On the first couple of plays, he got a couple of nice gains. Gain of 11, gain of 7 or 8. Put them in a good position to start off the second half. Then we were able to kind of bottle up Bernard Pierce, force them into second and long, and then D'Angelo Hall gets a penalty that I thought was a terrible call by the officials. Now, granted, D'Angelo Hall did not have to hit Torrey Smith on the sideline. He didn't have to touch him. The ball was gone. He wasn't going to catch it. D. Hall just said, I'm going to give him a nice little love tap. And they threw the flag, Didn't think it was a good call. I thought these officials struggled in this game too. Thought there were a lot of bad calls. That hit on Robert Griffin III by Haloti Ngata, not a penalty. That was a terrible call. There were several bad calls in this game by these officials. But when they needed to get it right, they got it right. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But they had some questionable flags in this game. And that was one of them. That D-Hall personal foul really made me angry because it was going to be 3rd and 7 and a chance for us to get off the field. And I told you, I don't want the Ravens getting anything after the half. They were already up a touchdown. We didn't need them. A field goal would put them up 2 scores. We don't need that. We don't need to be down by 2 scores at any point in this game. I didn't want to be down by 2 scores at no point in this game. No juncture of this game was 2 scores, us being down, acceptable. Not at all. That was the danger zone. 10, 14, 13 down, danger zone. That's when the red lights start flashing. Danger zone, danger zone, danger zone. I didn't want to get into that. Didn't want to feel the pressure of having to score. So that personal foul hurt. Luckily enough for us, the one guy that had been getting pressure of late came to the party. And Kerrigan's starting to rev it up a little bit, but Rob Jackson, when he gets going off that line sometimes, every now and again, he didn't do it often, but every now and again, he'll explode off the line. He'll get a good jump off the snap count, and he'll beat that tackle. And he beat Michael Orr off the ball on this particular play right after the very next play after that personal foul. He beats Michael Orr off the ball. Gets around, and I'm thinking, Flacco, don't you throw that ball before he gets there. Because there's been many times that Rob Jackson has gotten to the quarterback a split second, a fraction of a second too late. This time, he was Johnny on the spot. He was right on time. Smacks the ball out of Joe Flacco's hand. It's on the ground, and I'm saying, okay, normally this is when I can trust. This is normally when I can trust. When that ball's on the ground, I feel really good that Barry Cofield is going to pounce on it. He's really good at that. So Barry pops down on the ground. I'm saying Barry's got it. Then I see the ball squirt out. It's a wet day. Remember, it's a soggy, wet, moist day at FedEx. That ball comes squirting out. I'm like, come on, guys. It's an opportunity we can't let go to waste. We can't let this go by the wayside. Great play individually by Rob Jackson to get the strip. Forced fumble. He got the strip, the sack. We got to recover this. Rob says, you know what? I'll take care of it. The ball's bouncing around on the ground, and Rob says, I've done everything else. I might as well finish off the play and get the trifecta. He got the sack, he got the forced fumble, and he got the recovery. Hell yeah, Rob. We needed to play. You got it done. That's what I'm talking about, Rob. And just like that, new ball game. Because we're right around midfield now. Couple of first downs. And we should be talking about trying to get a touchdown now. So that's exactly what we do. We get a couple of first downs. Drive stalls out. You got to love when it's not the best conditions. And FedEx, that field looks a mess. That field looks terrible. I mean, it wasn't even 5 minutes into the game and the field looked like it had already suffered through 4 quarters of play. That field is a mess, especially in between the hashes where it's just brown. It's not even green there anymore. It's just brown. Looks nasty. It looks like mud. Looks like a whole bunch of muck. So, outside the hashes, it's not much better. It's just greener. That's all. It's green mud on the outsides. It's just brown on the inside. It just looks terrible. Our field is horrendous. Anyway, it's good to know you can stick your field goal kicker on the field on a day like today, where the conditions are porous, it's moist outside, wet field, slippery turf, and say, hey, go kick a 48-yard field goal and feel comfortable doing so. And that's exactly what we did. We have the utmost confidence in Kyle Forbath. I know I do. I can't speak for you. But I don't see how you can't when the man is 15 or 14 or 14 field goals this year. Every time we've asked him to knock a field goal home, he's obliged with a resounding yes. I got you. Don't worry about it. It's going through. 48 yards on a day like today is more like 53 or 54 yards. And he got it done. Kudos to Kyle Forbath. I love this guy. And that's exactly what I said I wanted. I didn't want a Josh Brown. I didn't want one of these, field goal kickers that had tread on them, that had been a journeyman kicker that's been around the league. like a Neil Rackers who we had in camp. I didn't want another one of those guys. Go get me a young leg. Go get me a young guy that got it done in college. And when they said Kyle Forbath, I knew Kyle Forbath was a great kicker at UCLA, set the college record for most kicks, won the Lou Groza Award. I knew what we were getting. Could he produce at the NFL level? That's all I needed to know. And he's already showed me, I got this. Don't worry about it. This is what I do. Love that guy. So, good to know you can make your drive count for something even when it doesn't get all the way to the end zone as you would like. Drive stalled out at the 31. He was able to tack on 3 with a 48-yard field goal. Love it. So now, we're not quite in the danger zone, but we're not out of the woods yet. Ravens still hold a 4-point lead, 21-17 after the field goal. And so a touchdown by the Ravens would make it a 2-score game at 11. And that's the dangerous type of 2-score game because you have to go for 2 at that point. So we weren't in the danger zone, but we weren't quite out of that fringe area either. We were still right there clinging to keeping this game right where we needed it to be. So it was imperative that we get a stop and we get more points. Have to. Before the Ravens score again. Because we know they're going to score again at some point. But we need to score before they score again. Just to ensure that this game is either a 1-score game or we're ahead when they score. So we kick it off to the Ravens. And this drive was so demoralizing. There is nothing worse than having the school bully take your lunch money from you every day. Have him tell you, hey, when you come to school tomorrow, you better have my $1.50. Because if you don't, I'm going to pound you. I'm going to cream you. Nothing worse than having that school bully tell you, I'm taking your lunch money tomorrow. And if you don't have my money, you're going to pay. And they come into school the next day and having that bully take your lunch money. Nothing worse than being told, I'm going to do something to you. You know it's coming, and you can't stop it. There's nothing you can do about it. That's how I felt about this drive. There's nothing worse in the National Football League than having a team slap you in the face repeatedly with the run. When I tell you I'm going to run the ball, you know I'm going to run the ball, and you can't stop it. There's no more helpless feeling in the National Football League. There's no worse feeling. You can't be more helpless than that. Remember that Dallas game about 3-4 years ago? Marion Barber ended the game. Dallas ran the ball about maybe 9 times in a row. We couldn't stop it. They won the football game. Just ran the clock out. Remember how helpless we felt that night when we knew Marion Barber was getting the football and he just took over the game? That's what this drive looked like. Bernard Pierce and Ray Rice were absolutely killing us. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. Listen to how crazy this is. Listen to how crazy this is. The Ravens were on a 7-play, 56-yard drive at the time. 7 plays, 56 yards. 7 runs, no passes. 56 yards, they're knocking on the door of a touchdown. They're in the red zone. They are absolutely obliterating us up front. And they're not even mincing words. They're not even making it look like it's going to be a pass. They're putting 2 tight ends in the game, 1 receiver, and Anquan Bolden, and they're just lining up and they're smashing us. It's not even anything cute. It's nothing fancy. They told us, hey, we're running the ball. Joe Flacco at one point in this game had less than 10 passing attempts, had 2 touchdowns. They weren't even trying to throw the football for the most part. They were killing us in the run game. We gave up 186 yards on the ground in this game. Can't happen. Good teams don't get punched in the mouth like that repeatedly. We were all bloodied up. Mouth was bloody because they were just pummeling us in the run game. 7 plays straight on a drive. Joe Flacco hasn't even attempted a pass. And they got 56 yards and they're knocking on the door, scoring a touchdown in the red zone? How embarrassing is that? I mean, that drive hurt me to the core. That hurt me to the core. So when Jarvis Jenkins decided to finally stand up and show some pride and have some manhood and actually get in the backfield and stone Ray Rice for a 3-yard loss, I was very pleased that someone decided to show up to the party. Someone finally decided to show up and stand up to the bully. No, I'm not giving you my lunch money. You want it? Take it from me. Tired of giving you my money. My mom didn't give me this lunch money for you to just take it from me every day. I want my snack at lunch. Jarvis Jenkins gets in the backfield, 3-yard loss, and that set the tempo for what was about to occur in this game. And this was a game changer. These are the type of things that win you ball games. The Ravens get a field goal here, and it's a different game. Let alone a touchdown. They get a touchdown. For all intents and purposes, game's over. Game's done. Because you're down 11 at this point, and we really haven't shown anything in the second half. So, Jarvis Jenkins gets that stop. What follows is a sequence of actions that save the game. After that play by Jarvis Jenkins, they realize we got to pass the ball now. Okay, it was fun running the ball all the way down here. They know we're running now. Okay, now we have to actually take to the air. Now it's time for Joe to close the show like he's done on 3 previous drives. Now it's time for him to get us in the end zone with his arm. So they turn Joe loose, and we turn the dogs loose. We sent the blitz. Kerrigan comes free. He hits Flacco as he's trying to throw the football. It gets tipped by another Redskins defender, and here's London Fletcher. What more can we say about London Fletcher? You know, he's injured every week. He continues to lace him up. He limited in practice every week. You don't know if he's going to go, but you know he's going to play. I mean, he's our Iron Man. He didn't miss games. He's the heart and soul of our defense. And when the play needs to be made, he's always somewhere around the fracas. And in this case, no different. Ball's tipped in the air after Kerrigan hits Flacco, and guess who comes up with the key interception to stop the Ravens from scoring any points on this possession? None other than London Fletcher. This was a pivotal play in the game. I can't tell you how big this play was. Without this play, there's probably no Redskin win in this game. This set the stage for us to hang around, and I'll tell you why. Because after that turnover, we took the football and we moved it down the field. You know, Alfred Morris was steamed because of that fumble. And we know he runs a lot harder after he fumbles. For some reason, he's got that extra gear after he fumbles. So he starts running hard. We start making plays. And we don't make enough plays to get in the end zone, but we do something that I felt like was crucial. Get points. I told you, against this Ravens team, we're going to have to score points. Be better if it were touchdowns, but whatever the case may be, got to get in it. We got to get points on the scoreboard. And again, we were right on the fringe of the danger zone because we were down 4 in this game. We don't want it to be a 2-score game. And so we got right there again. You know, and it's a long field goal. You kind of feel bad. You're sending Kai out there in not the best conditions. And again, a wet day. The turf it's mud. And we're sending him out there for a 49-yard field goal. I'm like, guys, you're really putting Kai in a compromising situation, but this is what you're paying him to do. This is his job, and you're hoping that he can get it done. And Kai says, look, don't worry, man. I got this. I got this. Don't worry about me. I'm going to take care of business. I feel so good when we put him on the field now that it's not even an issue of if he's going to make it. It's just about how much now. Does this hit the net? Or is this just creeping over the bar? What is it? Let me see how much distance you have on this. Because I want to know, would this have been good from 54 or 55? It's no longer, is it good? The question is, would it have been good from ... Okay, so he kicks a 49-yard field goal this time. The first one was 48. This one is 49. So now the question is, would this have been good from 54? Would this have been good from 55? That's what I'm asking myself now. It's no longer, is it good? I expect Kai to make the field goal. Feel that confident about Kai when we put him on the field. Now it's just a matter of, would that been good from ... You fill in the blanks. For me, it was 54. Would that have been good from 54? I always like to add on an extra 5. Would that have been good from 54? Probably so. Probably so. Feel good thinking that probably hit the net. That probably would have been good from 54. Felt really good about Kai. I love this guy. I love this guy named Kai. So now he's just taking us out of the danger zone. That's why that turnover was so big and that subsequent drive was huge. Because even though we didn't get in the end zone, it cut it to a 1-point game. And now you know you have a margin for error now, because if the Ravens decide they want to drive the ball down the field and get a touchdown, guess what? Even with that touchdown and the extra point if they tack it on, it's an 8-point game. It's still a 1-possession game, and that's the one thing we needed it to be. We needed it to be a 1-possession game at all times. Whether we're up or we're down, we needed to make sure it was a 1-possession game. If we're up, you want to push that lead out. But if we're down, it needed to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. We needed to get to 9 or more, because that means it's a 2-possession game. And at this juncture, you can see we're not scoring touchdowns now. We're not moving the ball as efficiently as we were in the first half or in the first quarter. And so it's imperative that we keep it at a 1-score game. And so we're not out of the danger zone. Wipe your brow. We dodged a couple of bullets because the Ravens had opportunities to score points, weren't able to do so. They weren't able to do so. We were able to stop them with the strip sack fumble by Rob Jackson with the recovery. And then we were able to force the turnover in the red zone. That was huge. Game saver. Game changer. Big play. That's what this defense has to do. So